Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andy, and welcome to. We're getting just a little feedback. Great. I'm Andy, and welcome to this week's Team Kentucky update. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a Team Kentucky update, so we have a lot of good news today. And we'll start where we always do, with great economic development news. Since the beginning of my administration, we have now announced over 1,000 new location and expansion projects that total an investment of nearly $32 billion and have created more than 54,700 new jobs. These projects keep coming, and they are exciting. Earlier this week, two industry publications recognized our economy and how it continues to be on fire. Business Facilities Magazine and Site Selection Magazine both highlighted Kentucky and several of our local communities for job growth and business development. Business Facilities ranked Kentucky in the top 10 of 3 industry categories: food processing, automotive, and EV investment. And they recognized Lexington in the top 10 for best business climate of large metros. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky region ranked in the top 10 for best business climate of mid-sized metros and placed 4th as a tech talent leader among communities with its labor pool size. The magazine recognized both Louisville and the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky region in its 2024 Metro rankings for manufacturing hubs and logistics leaders, with Cincinnati Northern Kentucky placing in the top 10 on the small manufacturing hubs list, and Louisville recognized in the top 3 for the logistics leaders category. Site Selection Magazine also released its 2024 rankings of America's best counties, with Kentucky having 4 of the Commonwealth's communities placing on that list. Allen, Carroll, Ohio, and Simpson counties each placed in the top 20 based on points per capita. Ohio County landed in the top 10, along with Carroll County, which placed 4th nationally. I'm happy to welcome today some of these local community leaders to our update. I'd like to welcome Carroll County Judge Executive David Wilhoit, Executive Director of the Kentucky I-71 Economic Development Alliance, Matthew Adkins. Come on up as we read your name. Executive Director of the Ohio County Economic Development Alliance, Jason Chen. If you all would join us to share a few words. Jason, you want to kick us off?
I can.
All right. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Thank you. I'd rather see you in Ohio County with checks.
All right.
Governor, thank you. Thank you for this honor, and thanks Site Selection Magazine for seeing the hard work that the governor has put in and his staff. Without your leadership, Andy, we wouldn't be in this position. I'm glad that your focus hasn't been solely on the Golden Triangle. You see the value in stepping outside of that area, both east and west, and we're happy to share this honor with you and appreciate you and look forward to seeing you in Ohio County.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please, come on. Congratulations. Excited to have you.
Thank you.
Our Site Selection Magazine recognized recognition of Carroll County as number 4 as the list of America's best counties per capita is a testament of our county's hard work, dedication, provided its residents and quality, high-paying jobs. We are deeply grateful to our local and regional and state partners whose support and collaboration have been instrumental in making these accomplishments possible. We look ahead. We are not just aiming to be back on the list next year, but we are to be at the very top. We would like to express our gratitude to Governor Beshear for his continued support, economic development initiatives, Carroll County, as well as our I-71 region, and for his continued hard work in making sure Kentucky is seen as the place to start and grow your business. Well, thank you. Also, Matt Atkins is with me here. If you'd like to step up here, he's our person here for Carroll County and economic development. So I would like to thank everyone for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. We also have video messages from Allen County Judge Executive Dennis Harper and Simpson County Judge Executive Mason Barnes.
Hi, I'm Dennis Harper, Allen County Judge Executive. Allen County is truly honored to be recognized as one of the top 20 counties in the nation by Site Selection magazine. We are the birthplace of Dollar General Corporation. We have a 200-acre industrial site with all utilities and various other sites around the county. The four major employers are Dollar General Corporation, Smucker's Uncrustables Corporation, Sumitomo, and the Halton Corporation. We broke ground today on a $100 million Belmart facility that will employ 160 people at a rate of $37 per hour, including benefits. We have numerous quality of life projects ongoing, including 2 reconstructions of existing playgrounds, making one an inclusive playground, a new skate park, and a new 60-acre recreational park. Money is also now being raised for a $6.5 million community center, which will include new gymnasiums. We also share Barren River Lake and numerous other activities. Once again, we are truly honored. God bless America, God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and God bless Allen County. Thank you and have a great day.
I want to first say that I regret not being able to be there in Frankfort with you today. I would have loved to have been there to be a part of this announcement that the governor's making, but my schedule just would not allow me to be in Frankfort today. So I had no idea really that Simpson County had been named as 19th in the nation per capita in economic development performance until I got the email from the governor's office. And I'll have to admit that was some very exciting news for us. It's a big accomplishment in a small community to be ranked in the top 20 in the entire nation in economic development performance. So we're pretty proud of that. But you have to understand too that these things do not happen in a vacuum. It's not just one person or just even one group that makes some things like this happen. So it's good teamwork here locally. Having a really good and strong economic development director is a big help. But quite honestly, Governor Beshear and his team with Rocky Atkins and the Economic Development Cabinet, they do a tremendous job working with local communities to make sure that we have the tools and the resources that we need to be successful. And they also understand that when the small local communities are successful, the entire state becomes more successful. So I appreciate their help and determination and dedication in what they've done here in the Commonwealth. And I just hope that we continue this strong progress and that things continue to move forward, not only here in Simpson County, but across the entire Commonwealth. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations to these 4 communities. They're making us proud. They are helping us continue the biggest, best economic development win streak in our lifetime. And we look forward to a lot of other counties making that list in the years to come. Moving on to company announcements. I want to start by highlighting JQOL Global, a certified minority business enterprise and full-service civil engineering firm. The company plans to locate a new facility in Louisville, creating 113 full-time Kentucky jobs with a $6.4 million investment. And these are great jobs with an average total hourly compensation of more than $59 an hour, including benefits. The new facility will serve as the company's 2nd Kentucky location. They have an existing location in Owensboro. I want to thank the company's leadership, and we look forward to their continued success. I also want to highlight growth in Kentucky's healthcare industry, with Thermo Fisher Scientific announcing plans at the end of June to locate a new lab operation in Covington. The company's investing $48 million in creating 69 additional Kentucky jobs. Thermo Fisher has operated a central lab operation in Highland Heights since 2002. It plans to expand its central laboratory operations in Kentucky, dedicated to safe delivery and effective medicines for patients. The Commonwealth is seeing tremendous growth in its healthcare and life sciences sectors, and Thermo Fisher continues to be a big part of that success. We also announced at the end of June that Bruco Marketing Group plans to invest over $1.2 million and create 18 good jobs in Muhlenberg County. The expansion to its Central City headquarters will allow Bruco to increase production of its current offerings, including mobile marketing and education platforms such as STEM education labs and mobile medical facilities. Bruco has grown to become a national leader in mobile marketing, so congratulations to them and everybody in Muhlenberg County for the continued growth of this incredible Kentucky-based company. Just last week, I had the opportunity to join Eastern Light Distilling in the groundbreaking for their new $143.7 million distillery in Moorhead, a project that's going to create 50 new Kentucky jobs. This new facility will introduce an innovative new concept that'll help grow our signature bourbon industry in Eastern Kentucky while supporting craft bourbon makers as a custom contract distiller. The project also represents a major success for the Job Ready Site Development Program, as the Rowan County site was approved for $600,000 in state support in 2023 through our KPDI program. So this is another example, like a number around the state, that we make the investment and soon thereafter, maybe a year thereafter, we see a company locating very quickly. Eastern Light Distilling is adding to the historic growth we're seeing all across Kentucky's signature bourbon industry, and last week's official groundbreaking ceremony marked another significant step forward. So congratulations to Eastern Light Distilling's leadership. They are both native Kentuckians. One of the leaders, this is his hometown, and his dream was to bring what he does in his craft back to Rowan County. So congratulations to them. As we mentioned earlier, Allen County just making that list of top 100 counties, and the judge in that video talked about a groundbreaking we did earlier this week. It was just yesterday that I joined local officials there and leaders at Bellmark to break ground on a $99 million facility that's creating 159 new jobs. We think it's the largest investment in Allen County in about a decade since the Smucker's plant that the judge mentioned. Bellmark is a maker of pressure-sensitive labels and flexible packaging. They're out of Wisconsin. This is just their second major facility outside of Wisconsin. So yesterday was an exciting day to celebrate the great company bringing high-quality opportunities. This is Carl Schmidt in the photo with me. He is the CEO who came down from Wisconsin. They are really excited about this opportunity. And this is just another example, like examples in all the counties we've mentioned, of this being a time when jobs are coming to people. They're locating in places they might not have previously considered, instead of expecting people to drive an hour or two to come to jobs. That means we're in a special moment where we have a greater ability than maybe ever before to make sure that every county and every region's included. And we're going to continue to push as hard as we can to bring good new jobs everywhere across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. On top of those announcements, I really want to highlight a couple of great things happening across the Commonwealth. During last month's meeting of the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, nearly $2.4 million in state funding was approved in support job-ready site and building development projects in Adair and Boone counties for future job growth through the KPDI program. The Adair County project will support general infrastructure improvements, including paving and entrance construction at the Green River Commerce Park. The Boone County investment will develop a site at CVG Airport, an ideal site for attracting and accommodating future industrial and manufacturing companies. Round one of the program concluded in December of 2023, with 53 projects statewide approved for $31.2 million in state-supported funding. But when you include local contributions, it was $123 million of investment to make sure the next site is ready, and the one after that, and the one after that. So to date, round two, we've seen nearly $30 million in funding. I'm thrilled at this partnership that the executive branch and the General Assembly were able to come together on. I'd push for a little more money than is in the upcoming budget, but still significant dollars for a program that didn't exist 5 years ago or 10 years ago. This is a real investment, knowing that we constantly have to stay ahead of the competition, and we have to find that next site and the one after that and the one after that. So I think this is your government making wise, smart investments, working together, recognizing that bringing in jobs isn't red or blue, Democrat or Republican, but it does take hard work. And this is the hard work. So all this great economic news is bringing real results here in Kentucky. So today, our state budget director and my executive cabinet secretary, John Hicks, released our fiscal year 2024 revenue report. The report shows that general fund receipts increased 2.8% and road fund receipts increased 6.9%. So what that means is once the fiscal year's accounting records are closed later this month, the 2024 fiscal year will be the fourth consecutive year with a budget surplus of over $1 billion. It'll mean this administration has now had the four largest budget surpluses in Kentucky's history, and this is likely this year to be the second largest budget surplus that the Commonwealth has ever seen. And we are doing it even after individual income taxes were lowered. Still, we're seeing increased wages and salaries across the Commonwealth that have helped drive this growth. So it's not just all these groundbreakings. It's not just all the announcements, but we are seeing an incredibly healthy economy in Kentucky through the receipts that we see in just about every part of our revenue that we bring in. At a time when a lot of our country is gripped by pessimism, what I'm seeing across Kentucky from people of all parties is an optimism we ought to embrace, but we ought to recognize that not knowing how long this window will be open, we ought to sprint as hard as we can forward, not right, not left, but forward to achieve as much as we can for our people. So to do that, last week I announced that one way we're going to keep the momentum going is an economic development trip I leave for tomorrow to Japan and the Republic of Korea. So at the end of this week and next, I'm going to be traveling there and working to bring new jobs to Kentucky as I meet with 17 individual companies, including Toyota, Blue Oval SK, SK On, and Hitachi, which are currently employing or will employ more than 15,000. No, they currently employ 15,000 Kentuckians and have announced another 7,000 new jobs. There are more than 100 additional companies invited to a reception that will be attending in Japan. I will join Transportation Cabinet Secretary Jim Gray to meet with the National Police Agency of the Republic of Korea to sign a driver's license reciprocity agreement. This is a big deal. It's similar to what we did with Japan after the Toyota announcement. And what that does is allow Korean executives and others that are relocating in the United States to be able to drive in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And if you want to go over to Seoul, for Kentuckians to be able to do the same in Korea. During my administration, we've announced over $10 billion in investments by the companies I'm visiting. So this is a good time to say thank you. It's also true that in the past, almost every year or every other year, Kentucky governors would travel to Japan specifically. That's something that I've wanted to do, but with a pandemic, tornadoes, floods, and everything else we faced, we've had to push it back. As you know, Japan is the top country for foreign direct investment in Kentucky, as our state is home to 200 Japanese-owned facilities that employ 47,000 residents. And now 7 Korean-owned facilities operate in the Commonwealth, with 6 others announced during this administration, which will push employment by Korean companies to 6,700 people. So despite a really long flight, I'm excited about the opportunity first to say thank you, to make sure that we have close and direct relationships with the decision makers. But we also believe we're going to come back with additional jobs and expansions from this trip. So a great opportunity to continue this great economic development win streak. Next, we have some good news to report on the work of our Kentucky State Police. Just last week, the Kentucky State Police released the 2023 Crime in Kentucky report, which shows that crime rates have remained stable with a decline in offenses for homicide, burglary, robbery, sex offenses, kidnapping, and gambling. For the last 3 consecutive years, homicide rates have been declining. To continue making strides in reducing crime, we must also continue to work to remove illicit drugs off our streets, drugs that are breaking apart our families and that are killing our loved ones. Yesterday, the Kentucky State Police did what they do best. They made our Commonwealth safer. I'm proud to announce that our state police successfully executed a statewide drug operation following a 3-month investigation into suspected drug trafficking rings. All 16 posts participated, and there are now fewer individuals out there that pose a threat to our people. This was no easy feat, one that put law enforcement face to face with danger. And what I'm most proud to report is that during this operation, there were no injuries. No injuries to our troopers, communities, or even those that they arrested. Here with us today is Kentucky State Police Commissioner P.J. Burnett, who is going to give us some details about Operation Summer Heat. Commissioner?
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. As stated, I'm here to discuss Kentucky State Police's latest initiative to maintain public safety in our communities across Kentucky. Operation Summer Heat is a culmination of a 3-month-long investigation into illicit drug activities across our Commonwealth. This operation included all 16 posts and encompassed our drug enforcement, special investigations branch, our intelligence branch, post personnel, and assistance from our telecommunicators and other entities across the agency. Typically, such roundups are tailored towards one particular post. This statewide initiative is to show a clear message across Kentucky that those who continue to distribute illegal drugs in our communities, the Kentucky State Police and our law enforcement partners, local and federal, will focus our efforts to cease such activities. Operation Summer Heat resulted in 206 drug arrests with 490 drug charges, and the majority of those were for trafficking in a controlled substance. You see our graphic, and that is our post locations, and because the agenda is so long, I won't go through all the arrests, but you can see those per our post area. Preliminary results from this operation indicate a significant removal of illegal drugs from our communities and streets, including fentanyl. 554 grams was removed, as well as 2,931 pressed pills of fentanyl, 219 grams of cocaine, 4,862 grams of methamphetamine, 40 grams of heroin, 50 hydrocodone pills, 60 oxycodone pills, and then 90 hallucinogens, as well as other illegal drugs. Early estimates that we've been able to track to date show a street value of over $685,000 in those drugs that we've removed. Additionally, this initiative resulted in the seizure of 14 illegal firearms. We seized $37,000 associated with drug activities, as well as recovered $10,000 in stolen tools and then 1 stolen vehicle. This success was a testament to the hard work of our detectives and post-level personnel who are dedicated to keeping Kentuckians safe from the dangers of illicit drugs, all Kentuckians, but especially our children. Additionally, this was an opportunity to remove deadly narcotics from our local communities and the money that drives this criminal activity, as well as other crimes. Kentuckians in those targeted areas can sleep a little better tonight, knowing that these drug dealers have been removed from their communities and will now face prosecution. Again, I want to thank Governor Beshear, his administration, for the support of KSP, for offering us the tools, the equipment, and all those that enable us to do our jobs safely. One note I'd like to mention is that the Operation Summer Heat, this is a separate initiative from other entities that we do. We have criminal interdiction teams strategically located throughout the Commonwealth to intercept illegal drugs coming in from outside of Kentucky. And those quantities they're large, as well as other entities and arrests associated with those activities. But Operation Summer Heat is continuing, and there's still 50 targets that we are searching for at this time. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you to Commissioner Burnett. He and his agency have done an excellent job, and because of y'all, my kids and everybody else's kids are a little bit safer today. All right. We also, on the front of the drug epidemic, we not only have to remove these drug dealers from the streets and these dangerous drugs from the streets, but we've got to get our people who've fallen into addiction better. So today we have 4 new counties that are going to be certified as recovery-ready communities. You may remember a couple weeks ago, we announced that overdose deaths in the Commonwealth had decreased for the 2nd year in a row, with 2023 seeing a 9.8% decrease compared to the previous year. Despite this, we know that our work is not yet done. We are still losing far too many people, each one a child of God missed by their families and their communities. Every life is precious, and we continue this work until we lose no one from drugs. Today, we take another step forward in achieving that goal by announcing that addiction services have been established to treat more than 122,000 Kentuckians in Breathitt, Jessamine, Lee, and Nelson counties as they have received their Recovery Ready Community certification. Since we launched the Recovery Ready Community certification last year, 14 counties have now been certified. These communities are stepping up to help fellow Kentuckians who are struggling with addiction. They're providing families more support through mental health and addiction treatment, as well as employment services, and we are grateful for and we applaud their good work. Today, we have Scott Lockhart, Public Health Director at the Kentucky River District Health Department, who is instrumental in securing Lee County's Recovery Ready certification. Lee County is home to The Hub, which provides all these services, as well as a diversion program for low-level drug offenders to treat addiction and help us to further reduce recidivism. And thanks in part to the folks in Lee County and across the Commonwealth, we have recorded the 3 lowest recidivism rates in over a decade, which means we're living our faith and values of second chances. We're getting families back together. We're reducing crime in the future. We're truly restoring people's lives. So if y'all would please come up, I'd like to present you with Lee County's certification, and we'd love to hear a little bit from y'all. Congratulations. All right. There you go.
Thank you, Governor.
Please.
It's truly a pleasure to be here. As you said, I'm Scott Lockhart, Public Health Director for the Kentucky River District Health Department, and I have with me Joanne Fraley, who is the Harm Reduction Coordinator for our health department and who has been instrumental in the services that we offer there in that community and in opening the hub. The hub, the substance use disorder problem is the largest public health issue that we are facing today in Eastern Kentucky and in many parts of our Commonwealth. These great economic development announcements, they're fabulous, but each one of those factories need people to work in them. Second chance employment is huge, and we have so many people that are being impacted by substance use disorder, especially in our part of the state in Eastern Kentucky. Our motto at the Hub is we meet people where they are, but we do not leave them there, because it's key that everyone that comes through our door is treated with respect and dignity. I greatly appreciate, Governor, the statements you made there about every one of these individuals as someone's son, daughter, mother. There are families members, there are neighbors, there are friends, and there, but for the grace of God, go I. Substance use disorder, if we're truly going to be impactful in addressing this issue, we have to embrace the disease model. We have to get treatment for individuals who are impacted by this. We cannot incarcerate our way out of this problem. Health departments across the state, we embrace our role to bring community members together, our elected officials, and we wouldn't be doing this without the support of our County Judge Executive, Steve Mays, and our Mayor, Scott Jackson. They have been so helpful. Our criminal justice system, we work with our courts closely down there, our drug courts, our treatment community. Individuals that come through our doors, we meet them with their basic needs. We feed them, we clothe them if they need that, we treat them with respect, and we build a trusting relationship to link them to whatever services they need. To date, we have got over 230 individuals into residential treatment, because when they're ready, we need to get them in there right then. Today, we had 3 more people today who said, I'm ready to go into treatment. So we were able to transport them and get that barrier taken care of. We serve as a gateway to get people into treatment, to link them to the resources. But then when they come back to the community, if we want them to be successful, we need to make sure that they have the resources there. We run multiple support groups, 11 support groups that are run throughout the week. We link them to second chance employment. We do innovative things like Strings of Hope, which is a ministry that fills the soul. This emptiness left by drugs, we need to fill it with something else. And if we can get individuals back, we can show them that they have worth, they have dignity, then we have the possibility to really help them to be gainful members of our society, fill some of these many jobs that we have, and just have a higher quality of life. So we're truly doing great work. Any of those budget surpluses, health departments be glad to help you spend them to get more of these hubs across the state. But we are honored to get this certification because it recognizes all of our community partners coming together, working on a problem that's too big for any one of us to solve. And we really appreciate you, Governor. You have truly been the public health governor and given us the support in the health departments to be successful. So thank you.
all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations to those 3 individuals today. Yes, thank you for your work. Every Kentucky county has the opportunity to become a certified recovery-ready community. We still have 106 to go. To get the whole state ultimately in this position. Applications can be submitted to rrcky.org. So let's keep moving forward on this together. Today, I have an update on revenue generated by the success of sports wagering. This is money that's not going to other states, but staying right here in Kentucky, and that's great news for the Commonwealth. Just 10 months have passed since I placed the first sports wagering bet, and I almost won, even though we spotted Duke 3 wins at that point. But revenue is beating all predictions, and sports wagering continues to be an entertainment source that Kentuckians enjoy. Preliminary numbers indicate that over $37.2 million has been collected by Treasury from sports wagering taxes and licensing fees. Over $34.8 million of that goes directly to the Kentucky Permanent Pension Fund. By supporting pensions, money is freed up in the general fund, or additional dollars mount up in the pension fund to help us further get those bond rating upgrades, or to give our retirees the type of extra security and confidence that they deserve. This is money that can be used in such a special way, and it is a win-win for the whole state. Additionally, over $930,000 goes to the Problem Gambling Fund to educate Kentuckians on safe gambling practices, risk factors, and services to reduce the consequences of problem gambling. These numbers are self-reported by the licensees and have not yet been audited. Final numbers are reported by the new Kentucky Horse Racing and Gaming Corporation, which began operation on July 1. All right, today we also have some good news to report when it comes to hiring social workers. While I know there is always more work to be done, I'm proud to report that the additional steps that Team Kentucky has taken to recruit and retain social workers is paying off. As you know, we had hit a crisis point on the number of social workers we did not have, that we needed for so many critical roles on Team Kentucky. So I'm proud to report over the past 18 months, we have made a net gain of over 230 social workers that we've onboarded to serve our Kentucky families. This has been one of the best spans for social worker recruitment and retention. These individuals are a lifeline to those in need, but for far too long, they've had caseloads so large they worry about what might fall through the cracks, but they do their best to help everyone they can. During my time as governor, we have worked to change that. In December 2021, I was proud to announce an immediate 10% raise for all social workers and family support staff. And over the last 2 years, we were able to secure both an 8% and a 6% pay increase for state employees after years of no increases. Thank you to the General Assembly for stepping up in that last budget and in this current budget to continue to provide those necessary raises. Beyond the pay raises, some of the other work we've done is expediting the hiring process significantly, establishing partnerships with state universities to bring in paid interns. That has provided a great gateway towards full and long-term employment. We've supported a hybrid work schedule, and we've boosted pay $5 an hour for those that work outside of the normal schedule. And over the past 18 months, teams of recruiters have participated in 37 hiring events, bringing on more talented and caring members to Team Kentucky. This is an incredible turnaround in hires. I want to thank the cabinet for thinking outside the box, for working so hard, but it also reminds us when you pay people closer to what they're worth, more people want to do jobs with an incredible amount of purpose. Remember the amount of education and training it takes to be a social worker, yet the pay for so long has been far too low. So very excited today to report on this good news and in this segment by thanking all our social workers out there for living out the golden rule, the parable of the Good Samaritan, and being there for people at their toughest of times. Keep up your good work. So that brings me to an announcement related to a program that is very near and dear to me and made a lasting impact on my life. The Kentucky Governor Scholars Program is something I participated in 1995. I'm the first Governor Scholar to become governor, and it's a place where I found my confidence, that they helped change the course of my life. Truly showed me that I wasn't alone. I got to meet people from all across the Commonwealth that remain great friends today, and I support this program with every part of my being because of how grateful I am to it. We're going to welcome a new leader after the close of this summer's ongoing sessions at Center College, Morehead State University, and Murray State University. Dr. Jennifer Price of Georgetown, a 20-year veteran of the Kentucky Governor Scholars Program and a GSP class 1992 alumni, has been selected by the GSP Board of Directors to succeed long-serving Executive Director Aris Cedeno, who is a pretty special guy I'm going to talk about in just a second. Jen has a long history with the program and has held every position within GSP from RA to campus director. For the last 2 summers, she served as the academic dean. Also, a huge thing, she's a native from Hopkins County and is the mother of 2. So Reese joined the GSP faculty in 1992. He was the dean of my campus in 1995. We've known each other for that long, and he's been the executive director since 2006. He'll remain on the staff through the fall to assist in the leadership transition and in the recruitment season, but I doubt he can stay away even after that. I want to thank Aris for his many years of exemplary service and dedication to this important program. The stellar reputation of the program is truly a part of your legacy. And congratulations to Jen on her well-deserved appointment. We appreciate your willingness to take over the reins, and just know as governor, it's important enough to me that I'm watching, but I know that you are going to do an outstanding job. I'm pleased that both Aris and Jen are able to join us today, and I'd like to invite them to say a few words.
Thank you, sir.
Very welcome. Congratulations.
As Governor Beshear said, my name is Aris Cedeno, and I am the current executive director of the Governor Scholars Program. I came to Kentucky in 1991 to teach at the University of Louisville. And very soon, I joined the GSP in the summer of 1992 to teach. But what has happened in the last 33 years through the Governor Scholars Program is that I became the student. Because what the Governor Scholars Program and the Commonwealth of Kentucky what they have taught me is the intellectual, the cultural, and the human values of my wonderful adopted homeland. I became an American citizen while I was in Kentucky many years ago. I did that here. And so as I welcome Jen, whom I have known since 1992 when I was first teacher, and then she was a scholar, as I welcome Jen to this program, I hope to encourage all Kentuckians to continue this extraordinary endeavor. I know Governor Beshear is committed to do this, but We began in 1983 with 260 students. That was the dream of Lil Press at the time. And we are now at the mark of almost 37,000 students who have gone through the program. And my goal that I have reached during many years is to have representation of 120 counties of Kentucky. And we do have that representation this year as well. So as I welcome Jen, I want to make sure that we all know to continue this program, because ultimately the winner is one, the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Jen.
Thank you so much, Governor Beshear and Aris. The Governor Scholars Program has meant so much to me for so long, and I am deeply honored to step into this new role as Executive Director. As an alum of the program and the parent of one, I know firsthand the impact the GSP has on the lives of Kentucky's high school students. I'm wholly committed to the mission of the program, to enhance the next generation of civic and economic leaders, and that includes students from all parts of the Commonwealth. My own mission is to lead the GSP with a spirit of collaboration and empathy. I look forward to working with our state legislators, business and community leaders, and the over 36,000 alumni of the program as we work to ensure its legacy. Aris, thank you again for your leadership over the past 33 years. I also want to thank the GSP Board of Directors, especially the board chair, Trey Grayson, for the trust they've placed in me to fill very big shoes. And Governor Beshear, thank you for your ongoing support. We are certainly proud to have an alum as the governor. You are the first, but I expect you won't be the last. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we have some exciting news for Bowling Green and Warren County. Even before the tornadoes hit Western Kentucky a couple of years ago, we needed more housing options for Kentuckians. The tornadoes made that need for housing even greater. A few weeks ago, we announced funds that will go towards building 953 homes across Western Kentucky. That was the largest housing announcement we believe we've ever made. And they included projects in Christian, Graves, Hopkins, and Warren counties. And today we have more good news. From our disaster recovery program, we are awarding Warren County $4.5 million to build 10 homes and 2 duplexes. They are partnering with Live the Dream Development to get this project done. Today, we're joined by Warren County Deputy Judge Executive Brian Downing and Abraham Williams from Live the Dream. Will you all please join me? Thought you might like to accept $4.5 million.
Yes, sir.
Come on in, you too. Thanks for being here. Let's say a few words about the project.
Thank you, Governor Beshear. It's an exciting day for Warren County and me to be here on behalf of Judge Gorman. Judge and I talk a lot. December 11th was probably the worst day in Warren County. We lost 17 lives and hundreds of homes, which, like the governor said, made our housing crisis even larger than it was. And we talk a lot. The 12th, 13th, 14th, and now into July of 2024 are some of the best days. And today continues that. We got to see what makes Warren County great, which is collaboration between local, city, and county, the state, our partners in our community, and it continues today. So thank you so much for this. Attainable housing is one of our greatest needs, and this will help us. Thank the Department of Local Government and this program, Governor, you and your team for allowing this to happen. Abraham and the Housing Authority are going to do great things with this, as they do, and the impact it's going to have on so many families is exciting. So thank you so much. Thank you. Abraham, time to get to work.
All right. Great. I appreciate it. Next, we have some great news for the city of Bowling Green. Today, we're awarding $5 million to Bowling Green to build 116 affordable homes within the city limits. They're partnering with Habitat for Humanity of Bowling Green and Warren County for this project. We first have a video from Mayor Alcott.
Governor Beshear, on behalf of City of Bowling Green, I am very grateful and we're very excited about this new grant announcement of $5 million to Habitat for Humanity, leading to affordable homes in our community. But more importantly, it's going to lead to home ownership. The aftermath of the tornado is in our past, but our future is bright. Thank you so much.
All right, we've got a group here today that includes Brent Childers, Director of Neighborhood and Community Services for Bowling Green, and Rodney Goodman from Habitat for Humanity. If you all would please accept a $5 million check. Come on in, guys. All right, anybody want to talk about the project? Please.
So thanks to the governor, Team Kentucky. We appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Really, this is about partnership. Brian talked about it a while ago. Following the tornadoes, we saw a community come together. And we saw a community come together in the way of not just healing the loss that we felt, but also how do we move forward? And we said, really just probably 30 days after the tornado, we will recover, we will rebuild, and we will move forward. And this is another step in that direction. I appreciate the partnership with Habitat for Humanity. They've been a long-time partner of the city of Bowling Green. Also, Live the Dream has been a long-time partner in addressing affordable housing in a growing community. We appreciate the support. We really appreciate the announcement a couple weeks ago about the new investment in multifamily housing in Bowling Green. And we continue to move forward one step at a time in addressing affordable housing in Bowling Green, Warren County. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Congratulations. Thank you. We made a promise to Western Kentucky that we were going to be there until every home, every building, and every life was restored and repaired. And we're going to continue to push until that goal is achieved. All these efforts combined with the work we're doing, with the more than $21.6 million donated to the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund that's been paid out to construct or repair over 300 homes. To date, more than 200 of those homes have been built, are under construction, or have been funded. And just a few weeks ago, we announced a $31.5 million federal grant to revitalize the city of Mayfield's downtown. That's $25 million of federal grant funding we secured, and then other funding on top of that. Our goal is to make good on our promise, and at our next update, we're going to have some more updates on some other areas, but today we have at least one of those. Today we have some great news to share on the progress we're making at New Hope Estates in Floyd County, which is one of our properties where we are building homes outside of the floodplain in eastern Kentucky. Last July, I visited Prestonsburg to share some exciting news that we were committing $2 million to acquire land to build 33 homes and rehabilitate one home for a flood victim. Then we went back and announced $8 million more from our disaster recovery program of 2021 to help build homes. These homes at New Hope Estates are going to be right next to the Big Sandy Area Development District. So Director Ratliff, you're going to get some good new neighbors. Today, we get to announce that FAHI, formerly known as the Federation of Housing Enterprises, will begin taking applications for the home ownership of these 34 homes. They are hosting an intake event next Thursday in Prestonsburg. We have my friend Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams with us today. Judge, would you talk about this great progress? Thanks for coming over.
Thank you, Governor.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. I'm Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams. On behalf of the residents of Floyd County, the other judges in Eastern Kentucky, the residents of Eastern Kentucky that were affected by the devastating flooding in 2022, we want to thank you, Governor, for your support. My deputy judge, he was just talking to me just a second ago. He said, "You remember when the governor called you the morning of the flood?" He said, "We're going to be with you every step of the way." He told me that 5 minutes ago. And you have been. You and your teams have been with us every step of the way. This new partnership with FAHI is significant in that it takes a load, it takes a burden off of us. We have resources, minimal resources, staff
and it's the technical issues that we just don't understand as judge executives in trying to get into housing and how to develop and get these folks back into affordable and quality housing. The governor and his staff have really stepped up, helped us to do the things that we need to do to ensure that we get these folks in affordable and quality housing as quickly as possible. We still have folks that are homeless. We have folks that are still living in their neighbors' guest homes or in basements or so it's important. And this component of that process is going to streamline the application process to get these folks in homes as quickly as we can. So on behalf of all the folks of Eastern Kentucky and the impacted families, thank you, Governor. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. If you were impacted by the floods in 2021 or 2022, we encourage you to visit housingcan'twait.org and fill out the interest questionnaire. A FAHI representative will then get in touch with you. Today, we're also joined by Jacob Wolf, Director of Disaster Resilience at FAHI. Jacob, if you join us and provide a few words, thank you for all the efforts that you all are undertaking and coordinating.
Thanks, Governor. Nice to appreciate it. Yeah, good to see you. FAHI is very excited to be partnering with DLG, with Floyd County, with Big Sandy Ad on the New Hope Estates development, the intake process for that. We know there's an incredible opportunity for the residents of Floyd County, residents of Eastern Kentucky to get connected with much needed disaster recovery housing opportunities. So as the governor mentioned, we will be opening intake for this site next Thursday, July 18th. We'll be hosting an event at the Floyd County Community Center, July 18th from 2 to 6 p.m. Representatives from FAHI's disaster resilience team will be on site to provide more information about eligibility and the intake process. And if you are interested in this site or other disaster recovery housing opportunities in Eastern Kentucky, please feel free to contact us at fahidr@fahi.org, or you can go online to housingcan'twait.org, where you'll be able to get connected with a member of our team. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Governor.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
With all our high ground communities, we're bringing over 500 new homes to the Eastern Kentucky region. That is not just restoring homes, that is restoring communities. I believe next week we're going to have some more news for both Knott County and Perry County. A lot of the hard work, the utility work, the most expensive parts of getting these communities up and running are going on right now. So while you don't necessarily see homes going up everywhere, but we do in Wayland, where they're going up fast, and we do at the cottages at Thompson Branch, you are going to see a whole lot this fall and moving into the winter as that toughest of work is now being completed. As we approach the 2-year anniversary of the flooding, we're making plans to visit several of the affected communities on July 26th, when we'll share some more good news on the progress that we're making. Today, we also have some good news for Floyd and Knott counties. A $1.5 million federal abandoned mineland economic revitalization project to replace nearly 20,000 feet of existing water lines with new PVC and iron lines from Lackey to the city of Wayland has been completed. The new line not only provides clean water to our Kentucky families hit hard by the devastating floods, but its location is outside of the flood-prone areas. That means that about 1,500 customers will now have reliable, high-pressure water when they turn on the tap. I've always said access to clean drinking water is a basic human right. And in between the ARPA funds that we reached an agreement on with the General Assembly and other funds that have been provided by the federal government, we are bringing more clean, reliable drinking water to communities than we've seen in decades. With the completion of this project, Southern Water and Sewer District will also be able to make a connection with Knott County Water and Sewer District in case of emergencies. We're so thankful for the AMLR program, as Kentucky has received nearly $225 million since 2016 that it's put towards 86 projects in 25 Eastern Kentucky counties. When completed, these projects will help create up to 3,000 new jobs for the region. Now a storm update from our July storms. Over the 4th of July holiday, an EF1 tornado hit Jefferson County with peak winds of 95 miles per hour. In conjunction with local responders and government officials, Louisville Metro Emergency Management Services has been conducting damage assessments and working to assist storm victims and others from the community. On Friday, July 5th, I joined leadership from Kentucky Emergency Management to visit the impacted area and speak with survivors and the responders working in the community. We experienced severe weather again 2 days ago as the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl moved into our region. Tuesday night, Union County in Western Kentucky saw another tornado impact their community. As the National Weather Service begins to conduct surveys, we expect other tornadoes will be confirmed. The damage mostly impacted agricultural areas, and one home has reported damage. Emergency management has monitored the situation and continues offering assistance to county officials when requested, and certainly reach out to make sure we're providing the help that's needed. With every storm and every challenge we face, Kentucky continues to be more and more resilient. No one shows more resiliency than our local leaders, like our judge and our deputy judge that are here today. And every time the worst of the worst happens, the best of the best turn out to help. We saw that with Fahy and so many others. The Small Business Administration is now offering disaster assistance for businesses, homeowners, renters, and nonprofit organizations affected by the severe storms and tornadoes that occurred March 14th and 15th. So again, you got to track all of these. The 14th and 15th storms and tornadoes, the SBA is now offering assistance. If you remember, those storms were for Trimble County, Carroll, Henry, and Oldham in Kentucky, and Clark and Jefferson counties in Indiana. Businesses and private nonprofit organizations may borrow up to $2 million to repair or replace disaster damaged or destroyed real estate, machinery, equipment, inventory, and other business assets. Homeowners may also qualify for loans up to $500,000 to repair or replace damaged or destroyed real estate, or up to $100,000 to repair or replace damaged or destroyed personal property. Survivors can learn more to apply in the following ways, which are on the screen. Deadline for the physical property damage applications is August 26, 2024. So again, for Kentuckians, this is Trimble, Carroll, Henry, and Oldham counties for those March storms. Businesses, nonprofit organizations can apply for loans up to $2 million. Homeowners, $500,000 for their real estate, $100,000 for their personal property. Remember, the physical property damage application, the deadline is August 26, 2024. Okay, so now we'll move to the early April severe weather update. Residents of Boyd, Carter, Fayette, Greenup, Henry, Jefferson, Jessamine, Mason, Oldham, Union, and Whitley counties have until July 22nd to apply for federal disaster assistance. As of yesterday, FEMA dispersed over $1.3 million in individual assistance funds to 902 survivors in the 11 counties impacted by the storms. Remember, it's tough to apply for individual assistance. We met it for this set of storms because so many people submitted their damage. Even if they didn't need individual assistance, they were helping us account for the damage so those who needed it could get it. Survivors can apply on the ways that are on the screen. And now the May Memorial Day severe weather update. While the state of emergencies for severe weather during late May has not received a federal disaster declaration, Kentucky Emergency Management is working closely with FEMA to assess the damage and direct survivors towards resources that can assist at this time. If you experienced damage due to the storms surrounding the Memorial Day incident, please contact your local emergency manager. Again, your insurance might cover everything and all the damage you had, but it's you submitting that damage that may get us to a threshold that helps somebody out that might not have that insurance. So those are our multiple severe weather updates. And to close it out, our Team Kentucky All-Star may get me a little choked up today. Today is Brittany Beshear's birthday. 7-11, everybody gets a Slurpee, I'm told, on her birthday. This is my life partner in everything I do, including in this job. She provided me the two greatest gifts in life I could ever ask for, which are my kids, Will and Lila. She is Winnie's favorite. by far, which upsets me every day. But she more than deserves it. We've been together just over 20 years, almost to the day when I first met her, and her kindness is something amazing to see every day, from organizing what I still believe is the largest toy drive ever organized, to the blood drives, to supporting the Teen Kentucky Art Gallery, to raising awareness on human trafficking and domestic violence. I'm so proud of her and everything that she does, and I'm really grateful for everything that she brings to my life. So in a slightly selfish move, we're making our First Lady our Teen Kentucky All-Star today. And nobody tell Will he might be getting taller than me. All right, with that, we will open it up to questions. We have a packed room, and I know we've been going a long time. We'll start with Al Cross.
So how good of a First Lady of the United States would she make?
Wow. If she was ever asked, she'd make an absolutely fantastic one, because there's nothing that she can't do. I don't have any more information than I did the last time I was asked questions about this topic. President Biden is the current nominee. Only he could make a decision not to be the nominee. I support him as long as he is our nominee. And I believe that what we'll need to see, and what the American people need to see in the coming months, is an aggressive campaign schedule that proves to the American people and provides the information on his health that I think people have been asking for.
Can I follow up with a little tougher question?
Sure.
When Speaker Pelosi spoke yesterday, she treated the question of the president's candidacy as still an open question. He and the White House are not treating it as an open question. Do you believe it is still an open question?
I think only he knows that. And it would be speculation on my part. I've just had the one opportunity to be with the president when the Democratic governors came together. And when I had an opportunity to speak, it was that he didn't just need to reassure us, he needed to reassure the American people. I think they've taken some steps towards it, but I think more steps would need to be taken. Austin.
Thank you, Governor. You've been to Washington a couple times as this whole kind of discussion has proliferated in the media and pretty much everywhere else. Have you had any discussions with anyone outside your team about joining a presidential ticket? And if offered the vice presidential role, is that a role that you would accept? Is that a role that you feel would meet that threshold that you mentioned earlier of a role that would help Kentucky?
I haven't had any conversations with the White House, the president, the vice president. I haven't had all of our conversations. Well, we haven't had conversations. No, the answer to your question is no, I haven't had any of those conversations. I'm not going to speculate about what would or could happen. I love this job. My kids are happy. My family's happy. I feel like we're in a role here in Kentucky, and this job is more than enough for me, that I could fulfill this next term, which I fully intend to, and be happy if this is the last public service role I ever had. But I've said before, the only way that I'd step away from this role is if I felt like I could help the Commonwealth even more through some other opportunity. Sarah.
Did you discuss this matter with George Clooney?
I have not talked to George Clooney since January, when I told his father, happy birthday. Oh, Sarah?
Yeah, and first, there's a lot of news about Western Kentucky today, and you said you'll be there until every house is rebuilt. How far do we have until that's done? And second, the Supreme Court just overruled the Chevron doctrine. How do you think that will impact Kentucky?
Well, overruling the Chevron doctrine is going to create a lot more litigation everywhere. It's going to allow virtually anybody to question and sue over an administrative decision by groups that are supposed to make administrative decisions in carrying out overall policy that may have been set by a legislative branch, either federally or here. If there is absolutely no deference to how that's done, then everything is going to be litigated out in a significant, prolonged, and expensive way. It's a concerning decision that overturns a significant amount of precedents. In the West, it's coming along in an amazing way right now. I've said before, we're not rebuilding homes, we're rebuilding neighborhoods, and they continue to come up in Mayfield and Dawson and other places. That announcement, about a month ago on rental units was enormous because that was our hole. That's what was missing. And then you saw another announcement today. It's hard to categorize exactly how many homes we need for individuals that lost theirs in the tornado versus also how many people need affordable housing that were already there or are moving there. But I'm excited about our progress. Certainly we have another 100 homes I'd like to see through our Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. I believe we're going to get close to that amount. Things have gotten more expensive as we've gone. And so our hope is certainly to get as close to that as we can. But those are separate and apart from some of these other announcements that we've made. Bodie.
Thank you, Governor. Earlier this week, we received a letter from the auditor and ombudsman about access to a certain CHFS database called iTrust, that access being revoked. Can you shed some light on the situation that's going on there and the detailed progress that's being taken?
Sure. And this isn't some dramatic disagreement that has any type of political tones at all. What this is the ombudsman used to be in the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. And the ombudsman in the cabinet would have some access and only some employees to different databases that have very personal information that's protected under state and federal law. And over the years, while the ombudsman was at CHFS, the legislature passed additional statutes saying who could and who could not access that information. Well, in the last session, the General Assembly moved the ombudsman, or did previously, to the auditor's office. But what they didn't do is change other statutes that had been passed when the ombudsman was still over at CHFS that said who can access the information. So what we have is still written statutes on the books that say that the information that can be shared with someone outside the cabinet or who it can be shared with is limited. And the challenge here is I'm sure the General Assembly intended for the ombudsman to be able to do what they need to do, and I support them having the access, but we have a written statute that is on the books that says we can't provide a certain access. And I don't think the General Assembly is going to tell me that if you think that you know what we wanted you to do, that you could ignore the other statutes that we passed on the books. And so we've tried to work through this directly with them, saying, what about this and what about that? And they've said no, full access. I get why they want that. I don't disagree that a statutory change should be made that allows that. But with this other statute and statutes on the books, the cabinet feels like they'd be violating the law. So this is something that I hope we can work through in a way that works until January. And then ultimately we can get a statutory either revocation for the limitations or a change that helps us to get this done. But it would be an interesting precedent if different chairmen or chairwomen of the General Assembly told me I can ignore certain statutes on the books because of what they were trying to do. So again, I know it comes off or seems dramatic. This isn't intended to be. We all want to get to a final place, and we want oversight. It needs to happen for these really important decisions and the children that we're supposed to protect. We're just going to have to take some steps to get there. Jeremy Toombs.
Thank you. Might be early yet, as I know that the application's open until the end of August, but I was curious if you all have any update you could provide on the interest you've seen in business licensing as it relates to medical cannabis.
Yeah, so the licenses, the applications are coming in, but we think a lot of people are waiting right now until closer to the deadline. We would strongly encourage people to submit earlier. A lot of the applications that have come in already have been found deficient, though people are going to get a chance to cure them because they appear to be using guides from other states that aren't applicable here. So we want everybody to have time. We want a bunch of applications to come in, but our encouragement today is don't wait, reach out, ask questions, go ahead and submit. As you could guess, the most licenses that have been submitted have been for dispensaries. which is what we expect and anticipate. But right now, we believe that schedule that we put out that we will be able to meet. Now, still some challenges on day one. Is there going to be sufficient supply, et cetera, in every part of Kentucky? And that's just a challenge with the way the statute was passed. But we are doing our best to be as ready on day one as we can. What would help us from businesses is go ahead and apply so that if there is anything wrong with the application, you can have a chance to fix it. Carolina.
Following up on that, what challenges is the state potentially anticipating for the January launch? And then come Monday, are there any laws that you're concerned about that go into
So when the launch occurs, the biggest challenge is will there be sufficient supply on day one? I believe that we are on track to have the medical personnel certified. We're on track to get all the licenses out. But once the licenses are out, the product still has to be grown. And then it's got to be processed. And then it's got to be packaged, and it's got to be at the facilities. And it's got to be inspected throughout all that. But if you think about the life cycle of what it will take to get to the store, that's what we're looking at. But the actual structure and operation of the program itself, I expect to be ready by day one. I would also just remind people that this is medical marijuana and the conditions are limited. And so the market is much smaller in terms of numbers than what you see in recreational markets. So we're trying to be really intentional in making sure that we only put out the right number of licenses, that we don't see what happened in hemp when the market was flooded with licensees and a lot of people lost a lot of money. The goal in everything from how we handle this product and who gets it for medicine and how the business is created in Kentucky, we just want to make sure we're doing the right way. And I think it is being done the right way. That doesn't mean there won't be challenges and we won't have to make some changes as it goes, but we are using best practices from a lot of states. And Sam Flynn's doing a great job, incredibly organized, going about this in a really professional way. A lot of laws are going to come on the books. Concerns over what we may see in terms of numbers of individuals going into our jails, our prisons, and our DJJ facilities. As the executive branch, we have to house everyone that is sent to those facilities, but we have a limited amount of money that we're allocated to do it, and we don't have any control on the number of individuals who come in. But our job is to do our best with that, but certainly, the correction system doing better than it has in a long time because we have more corrections officers than we've had in a long time because we're paying them closer to what they're worth. Now, obviously, right now there's a lot of reform going on in our DJJ facilities, but remember those facilities are still really old and weren't designed appropriately in the beginning, at least not for the population that we have in them right now. We did not get the money that we requested in the last budget for new facilities. And so if we see a significant amount of additional juveniles sent to our DJJ facilities, that's just going to increase pressure on a system that we're trying to fix and repair in real time. All right, on the line, we've got Tom Latek. Okay, do we have Isaiah? Okay, Isaiah Kim Martinez.
Yes. Can you hear me all right, Governor?
I can.
Hello? Amazing. I appreciate
Go
you
ahead.
taking the time. I wanted to ask, are you aware of a $2,500 payment made by your In This Together PAC back in May, specifically for a donor list? I believe it's from your father's run for U.S. Senate committee. Are you aware? And if so, can you explain the reason for it?
I'm not aware of it. I'll ask about it, but any of those PACs have to pay for donor lists. Otherwise, it is a contribution, and depending on the laws, can be an illegal contribution. So what you see is whether it was campaigns. I know we purchased a number of donor lists before, or others. You see that compensation where they try to find reasonable market value for them. But I'm happy to ask the group and we'll get you further information, but you can't typically just send one of those lists to a new entity. Liam Niemeyer from the Kentucky Lantern with our final question.
Hi, Governor. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. So former Public Service Commission Chair Kent Chandler told reporters he decided to resign because he didn't have any confidence he would be reappointed because of lack of a communication from the Beshear administration. Were you planning to reappoint him, and why or why not?
Well, we don't talk about our internal decisions on appointment or reappointment, but for those that think Kent provided great service, which I am one of, I hired Kent in this area as Attorney General a number of years ago. Appointed him as one of the youngest public service commissioners that served, appointed him as one of the youngest chairs. So I know that he is going to go on to a great private sector career. We wish him the best and appreciate him being part of the team for so long. When folks leave us for other opportunities, we only want to wish them the best. Make sure that they have the best opportunities that are out there. And from somebody who's known his family for a long time, I'm looking forward to all the good things he does, except when he's opposite of us at the Public Service Commission. All right. Thank you all very much.